G'day, g'day. Here we are, back again, and we're going to be setting up a campaign for tonight. So if you're joining me for a little bit of DM prep, that's what we're in for. And we're going to probably listen to some music while we're at it. Tonight we're running the Red Hand of Doom. But it's going to be a heavily modified version if you've been watching any of the game the last couple of weeks. Let's just have a look here, make sure this is all how we like it. All right. So we got a couple of things we want to do. And that is kind of read up a little bit on what's coming up next. And to do that, we're going to have to open up the Red Hand of Doom book. And then we're going to set up some maps and do a little bit of note taking on what we want out of the game session that we're playing tonight. So let's move our handy dandy notepad down here. And we're going to want to open up a freshie. So, we've got who are the characters? Let's open this up a little bit more, shall we? We've got Keg, the king in quotes, sentient party Keg that came to life after sitting in a wizard's basement for thousands of years. Has claim to the old Nereth Empire based on a magic shield that he picked up in the Keep on the Shadowfell. So he's in the Elsia Vale, which is where this part of the campaign is set. Is part of the old Nereth Empire. So Keg kind of walks around like he owns the place. No one really understands or is all about his rule. But that's fine. So if we can keep in mind some stuff like that to kind of work in, yeah, maybe he finds something else, some other relic of the old empire. So we got Gronk. Now he's sort of the star of... Oh, hello, Valexion. How's it going? Gronk is the half-orc barbarian. He's kind of the center stage of this campaign. So normally Red Hand of Doom is about hobgoblins, but this time we're turning that on its head a little bit and we're making them about orcs since he's a half-orc. And this is sort of his old clan, or also one of the old clans maybe that he had belonged to, have kind of brought together a bunch of the, or one leader, one charismatic leader has brought together a bunch of the old clans, and they're marching on the Elsia Vale. Plotting my stealth build. Ah, mate, all about it. What kind of stealth build are you working on? And what kind of class? Because I did do a couple of class guides for our website. So I'm always interested to hear like different ways that people have kind of built their characters out. Assassin Gloomstalker, comprehend language and the observer feat. So yeah, that's cool. Gloomstalker, I reckon, has a lot of potential. I've only just started to see it played with one of the players in my campaign is sort of a halfling Gloomstalker ranger. I think it's Gloomstalker. Mostly they chose that, I think, because they were tired of not having dark vision and they were a ranger. Yeah, so you can hide in dim light. Yeah, so even sort of the subtlest of shadows are your kind of play thing. I like that. So what else we got from here? Gronk, half-orc barbarian, often naked. Mother was an orc. Father is potentially Sadade. I think we have made that canon. I think we've made that canonical. Bird person, the Aarakocra, cleric of life, is actually a personal trainer who heals through encouragement. Oof, that's loud. Let's turn down those system sounds. Now he is a follows the Raven Queen. And is looking for a weapon. He wants a new weapon. I had an idea about giving him some kind of quill, some kind of feather quill that turns out to also be a mace. But we'll see. Now, Sadade is a human monk of the Open Palm. Used to run with slavers of the Helping Hand, or the Iron Circle. Valexian says, have a pair of Holven creatures follow the party singing parody songs of their past deeds, calling themselves only by the center of satire. Haha. Have a pair of Holven creatures follow the party. That'd be interesting if I could come up with songs to do with their past deeds, because they are always talking about how they're not getting enough recognition and they don't have their bard with them. There was actually 7 people in the campaign. More and more people were joining, and so we've split the campaign into 2 sort of concurrent campaigns. We run those fortnightly, to their point of view fortnightly, my point of view weekly. I do need to. I think there was something in the Orcus conversion that was a song about the heroes who stopped Caloril the Vile or something like that. Maybe I could pull something like that out and change some of those words. Because that's really cool. Like anything that can acknowledge past stuff. There's a song about Sir Keegan, which is a guy that they defeated and took his shield. But someone more creative than me is going to have to come up with a song. Now, what is Sadade? Sadade unfortunately missed out on last session. You know how it is. But what else is Sadade after? So he's connected into this because he knew the orc leader's father. We'll add that in the secrets. But we should look at what is going to be the strong start of this episode. previously they'd gotten into Drellin's Ferry, the town here. That's outside Drellin's Ferry. So they got into Drellin's Ferry, they met some people, and they kind of took on a quest to root out some of the forward scout party of the orcs, of the Red Hand or the Many Arrows or whatever. They go under many names, of course. So we need a strong start, and the strong start comes from the Sly Flourish lazy DM's guide. And it's meant to kind of grab you and go like, okay, D&D has started. So maybe I fast forward them to the woods. So they're pretty much like organized to go to the Witchwood. What was their actual quest? Our town is under attack. Orc raiders have been harrying our lands for several days now. They've attacked and killed people in the outlying homesteads. If the orcs make the Dawnway impassable to the west, trade won't come this way and we'll be ruined. Not only do we need to repel the raiders from our town, but we've got to keep that road open. Can you do it for us? And they were told to go through the Witchwood. Kevin looked at else. Okay, so we got a random encounters table for the Witchwood. The Witchwood. It says here the Witchwood is not the safest place to wander around. The chance of random encounters depends on the PC's activity. Normal travel, 50%. Okay, we can keep that in our back pocket. But maybe we start with one of these. In fact, because Saudade was kind of kidnapped last session. It depends if he's here this session. Dryads, assassin vines. What's some cool shit they can run into? Essicaps and monstrous spiders. Do we have those? Do we have access to that? But what I guess what we'll have to do is create a map for where they're gonna fight in the Witchwood. So we've got here, which is more of like a, hey, the Witchwood. Look, we're gonna navigate through it, right? And if we bring out the fancy lads. Yeah, let's grab Wingman. You know, he's going to make his way through the Witchwood slowly but surely. What about Keg? He can just see further, right? Do I need to set up some walls? Maybe some terrain walls? How does that look? So you can see through there, but they can't see sort of past the edge of that forest. They can just see that it's forest for quite a while. And so when they come out to a clearing, they'll be able to kind of see the next area, perhaps. I also need to work out what is the scale of this kind of hunting through, and also how is it going to start strong. Let's have a couple of strong starts in case Sadade's available and in case he's not, because we can have one that he's been sort of... He was kidnapped in sort of last session, mostly just as a plot point of why he wasn't there. Because the player wasn't there. But it also lets us go, you know, he's been kept overnight, he's been biding his time, and then he can sort of come in strong and escape. Everyone loves a good escape. Let's get you up here. So if they stick to the path, they'll be able to kind of see that there's forest either side of them. But they won't be able to see further than the forest. Which I think will kind of go with what I'm going for in terms of navigation. And they'll have some opportunities, obviously, to follow different paths. So it's somewhat maze-like, but not really. And so I think their goal here is going to be... They potentially want to get to Jaws, J-O-R-R, Jaws Cabin, which is C on this map. Speaking of the keg, or speaking of D&D prep, it sounds like Keg might not be able to make it tonight. So it doesn't not work, as he was in sort of fell down a hole after carousing massively at the end of last session. Witchwood! So I think that works if we go... They can kind of see into the path somewhat, but not massively. Or do I change this to be more... I can change all of these, actually. So they can reduce perception, but no movement restrictions. So they can walk through these walls, but they can't see into the wilderness. And they'll be able to kind of see as they come out here. Cool. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. And then they'll have to like go in to kind of see the path in the woods. That makes it more like a maze. All right, so strong start. If soldado with them. Let's do some if and then or statements because that's how my life works now in segmenting. If with saudade, we're going to start with saudade. So we're taken. You were knocked over the head and taken by these orcs into the forest. Groggy evening. They make camp. You you bide your time. How do I get them back together? Well, maybe I don't. Maybe they're going to be in separate places and we can kind of jump back and forth. I know it's like never split the party, but maybe this is what they can do. Or can Jaw come to his rescue? But then they both lead kind of a bit of a breakout. The hound spots strangers coming. They charge out. They stop at 10 feet. Okay, so Jaw's got some hounds. He's hanging out in the woods. He's another old man, so Saudade will probably like that. Okay, so after a groggy evening where they make camp, so we're going to start off with a Saudade fight, assuming that Saudade is there to play the game. So we're going to need a forest battle map here. All right. Luckily, 2 Minute Tabletop has this covered because 2 Minute Tabletop is the jam. I'll get this file ready, and then we can go through the process of creating a brand new map on Foundry, which is pretty exciting. All right. So let's go. So we're going to create a brand new scene. Let's go ahead and make a brand new scene in FoundryVTT, shall we? So we go into the Scenes tab, which we've got up here in the top right, and let's create a brand new scene. So this scene is going to be the Witchwood, we'll call it Altar, and I like to put EV in front because it is part of the Elsia Vale, and I'm running some different campaigns in different areas. Now for the background image, we're going to want to select a file, and we're going to need to upload it. Why won't you let me connect to my asset library? Okay, bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties. I gotta create a. All right, here we go. So I had to sign in with my Patreon to sign into Forge to be able to access certain things, I think. Let's try this again. Here we go. This is what we want. So let's start again, shall we? Let's delete this nonsense. And let's start again. So we're going to make a scene in Foundry. It couldn't be easier. Of course, when I say it couldn't be easier, this is sort of the second or third time we have to have a go at it because I wasn't logged in properly. So let's call this the Witchwood scene because that's where it's going to take place. And the background image I want is the, actually we'll call it Witchwood altar, as it has an altar on the map I'm going to use. And we click here, the little background image, browse files, and we can look at all the files I have uploaded into my Foundry, and I've been sorting them into these kind of folders here. And I've got this little LC Avail one, but we got to upload a new file I just got from 2 Minute Tabletop. So I hit browse, I got my little thing, and I select the file I want to upload. This is going to pop it in here after a few seconds. Obviously, it's trying to upload it now. Depending on your connection. So you've got Hillside Altar, select file, and you can see that it's hosted in my Forge account because that's where I've got my hosting for this server, and we've got it in here. Now this is all we should need for now. We hit save changes, and then we see that it is loaded in here. Let's activate it. Look at this beautiful map. Look at this beautiful boy. So already the grid looks pretty good. The map itself was gridless, but we can change some of this grid dimension. So if we go back to configure and we go into the grid settings, and we click this little grid configuration tool. This lets me with the Alt key change the grid size. So I can make this map bigger if I wanted to. So if I want the road to be 15 feet apart, that sounds pretty reasonable. Or if I want it to scale it down effectively by making the grid bigger so it's easier to walk around on. But I like sort of big-ish maps, and I think maybe 10 foot across on the road makes sense. Wagons can kind of go across here, and I think 120 grid size is usually pretty decent. The other options, of course, is if you want to match it up to a specific grid, you can use the up, down, left, right arrow keys to kind of do that as well. So the grid is offset somewhat, and let's commit those changes. And then what else do we want here? Do we want token vision? Yes. Global illumination. It is daytime, so wherever they can see, they'll have vision of. That's fine. And we will have fog exploration, and we can also change it to be a little bit darker if we want it to be nighttime. But with global illumination, it will kind of assume that there's still a bit of light out, right? We also have this ambience and atmosphere. We can put on an audio playlist if there's sort of an ambient music we want to do, or we could have a weather effect as well. We could have some autumn leaves. Look at that. Autumn leaves. Now this Witchwood, it is not autumn, I don't think, so we're gonna get rid of that. But there is also rain and snow being other options. And we can set a day-night cycle, which is pretty dope, and an initial view position. So let's pull our initial view over to this right-hand side a little bit and set it like that. So this is the layout they will see as soon as they load in. And accessibility, GM only, showing navigation. It does show navigation, but let's turn that off. And you can change the navigation name if you want them to be able to see it. But we know it's the Witchwood altar. And what do we want first? We want to grab Sadada here. So he's going to be here in this sort of alcove in this camp, and he's going to be looked after. I say looked after by a bunch of orcs. Oh, we got our Streamraiders game ready to go just in time. Let's do that, and then we'll come back and continue. You know what? I completely forgot to put my own unit on the battlefield. My bad. Rodizzle just carrying it through for us. I promise I'll put my own unit on the board this time. Let's chuck out a paladin, shall we? All right, cool. Yeah, let's get something a little bit more upbeat here. All right, so our big old start is going to include Saudade sort of having been knocked over the head, taken by these orcs. So you, after a groggy evening, you wake up in their camp. You hear them arguing in Orcish. And what are they arguing about? Essentially what to do with him. I'm not sure if Saudade speaks Orcish, but if they are, what to do with him, and we should figure out who sort of the closest general is in this part of the story, because they should sort of mention him, right? So I think they're going to end up at Vrath Keep eventually. And they're going to have to fight Wormlord Koth. So Wormlord Koth, and he's meant to have a bugbear sorcerer, but we can get some kind of orc shaman. So Koth is a kind of shaman himself, I think. Yeah, okay. So what to do with him? They should take him to Wormlord Koth. Obviously, the names are meant to be these hobgoblins and bugbears and whatnot, but I'm keeping them very the same because that way I know how to reference them properly. One of the orcs wants to kill him now. Kill him now, because he's an old man. He's not useful. What other scenes should take place? So they're on the Dawnway. Trade Road. And then there's the Witch Trail, which is a footpath. leads from the fields north of Drellin's Ferry to the Old Forest Road. And then there's Jaw's cabin. So Jaw and his 3 dogs. He's got these sort of 3 hunting dogs. Now we want what secrets and clues might the characters uncover. So here in this section, we try and come up with sort of 10 things that the PCs can learn that can either sort of hint at things down the future or just like be interesting. And we don't sort of say how they find them out, but we kind of just put them there and as sort of a little hook for ourselves, and then we can kind of just drop them when the PCs are investigating stuff. So the first thing that they could learn is the scout troop. Scout troop. I was in scouts. I was in a scout troop. Scouts are led by a orc shaman, Wormlord Koth. What else is cool about these woods? Okay, there's also the Black Causeway, which they might enter into. Blackwater Causeway. And that has a 6-headed Hydra in it. Interesting. So let's give some orcs here. We got a whole bunch of orcs we can give. So there's going to be 1 captain, I think. It's going to be kind of tough to hit. 2 orc archers. And 1 soldier, 1 warrior. So these guys aren't particularly tough, and I think Sadade would be able to sort of take him on his own if he really wanted to, which, let's be real, he's probably going to want to. Yeah, I mean, he'll take quite a beating if he tries to do this on his own, and then maybe we have that the other's going to rock up. Or Jaw rocks up. Scouts are led by an orc shaman. That they've enlisted the help of giants. No, because giants are totally anathema to the dragons that are helping them, right? They've enlisted the help of dragons. They have ogres, though. Ogres. Bogus. What about this Wrath Keep? There's got to be something there that's kind of a hook for Keg, maybe, and his whole Nearath Empire stuff. So there's a lord, a human ghost that haunts the ruins. Human ghost haunts the Wrath Keep ruins. Anguished cries coming from somewhere deep underground. So they could attack Keep, the Gardener's Shack, small wooden shack, da 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 da. So the scouts led by an orc shaman, Wormlord Koth. They learn a great army is gathering up in the worm smoke somewhere on the side of Skull Gorge. Oh, this is good. A green dragon has visited the keep 3 times. I like that. And the assault on Drellin's Ferry is scheduled to happen soon. Soon being, you know, trademarked. Soon. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 4 more. Let's get the warg stables. South of Drellin's Ferry, the Ghost Lord claims that area. All right. Koth intends to assault Drellin's ferry. I mean, they kind of know that, right? Yeah. Himself. Yeah. So I think their intention is they'll head up to they'll head through here, right? Here's where Jaw's house is. If I can put a little note for myself. Jaw's house. Whose house? Jaw's house. Say what? Say what? Whose house? Jaw's house. Just pull this right in here. Let us as well. So we got Jaw's house. So we can save that. And then we can drag it onto here. And make it a little house symbol. Let us also create a new folder for Red Hand of Doom. And I want to create a rollable table for the things that the Witchwood stuff they can run into. At least go into this book, and then we'll play it up a bit, because a sort of random encounter table could be a little bit fun. So Witchwood random encounter. Okay, update that. Let's add one result here. So it's going to be a percentage roll. D100. And the first one is get one gray render. I don't know what that is, but let's keep adding them here, and then we can kind of adjust as we go, right? Let's build it. 1d3 plus 1 centipede swarms. 1d2 plus 3 dryads. Uh, 1d3 plus 1 sass in vines. I like that. That could be fun. As I know Gronk has a weapon that is really good against wood. I think he has that axe still. 1 digester. Jeez, there's a whole bunch here. One D3 plus 1 large monstrous spiders. Normal as a result. Wait. Are they all meant to be equal? Who knows? 1d4 plus 1 giant wasps. One Gorallon. I think it's like a giant gorilla, right? D4 plus 1 Orc Warg Riders. Manticores. 1d2 owlbears. Owlbears could be fun. Owlbears. Shambling mound. Tendric Ulos. 1d2 trolls. They've fought trolls before. That could be a lot of fun. 1d6 plus 8 sturges. One diabore. One giant stag beetle. All right, I don't know if I have all these things, but let's just. That's 1d17. Okay. So the range for this is meant to be 1 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 to 14, 15 to 20, 21 to 28, 29 to 34, 35 to 40. Cool. Org Riders. 41 to 50. Owlbears. Shambling Man is 64 to 69. Nice, nice, nice. Tendril, like a 70 to 75. Trolls is 76 to 80. Sturges. Sturges is just annoying. 93 to 97. And the stag beetle, 98 to 100. So if I roll, we get 1d2 manticores. So it reads out that whole thing. I don't think we need to do that. But let's see if we have manticores. We do. Oh, this could be fun. So I think 2 manticores would certainly work. And if we do this in the same combat, I think, or at least the same map, this kind of makes sense if they're on the road. So Witchwood Road. There's 24 tail spikes. Okay. So I have to keep track of 24 ammunition for the tail spike? No, thank you. If he gets 24 shots off at range before they close the gap, then we've got other problems. Rodizzle placing that archer. Thanks for hanging out and tuning in on a lazy Tuesday. All right, so we'll leave that table. I probably have a lot of the stuff that's in that table. If I don't, then I will play it by ear, right? And just roll again or try something else. So like stag beetle. Golden stag. Cool. Oh, giant fire beetle will be fun. Or a swarm of beetles. All right, let's also set up the scene for a little bit in the future when they get to Wrathkeep, right? We're gonna want something for that. So again, we're going to go into scenes. You know, open up this one. So this one's going to be in here. We can drag that in there. Let's go create new scene. It's going to be EV Wrathkeep. And we're in the same spot again, and we're going to want to open up here and choose where it is. Red Hand of Doom. I have a Wrathkeep map right here. And save changes. Let's check it out. Okay, so this time we do have a grid already a part of this. Oh, it's got an S here and stuff. I don't like that. I'm gonna need like a DM version. Here we go. Now let's see what I can do if I can. I assume I can't do this. We can. All right, so I don't even need to upload the image there. I can just sort of drop it in. Now the dimensions will need to change. Let's see, 1920. 90 is pretty close, but not close enough. 95. Getting on it at 3 o'clock. Shh. Okay. Shh. Nobody talk. Nobody mention it. That looks pretty perfectly lined up. It might be a bit out down here. No, this seems all right. So let's commit those changes. And this one's not going to have global illumination because because they're going to head inside, right? So we're going to need some wallers. Actually, let's do the Streamraiders thing while we've got it. All right. I'll just reboot Streamraiders there. And work out what we need here in Vrathkeep. We're going to need walls. Actually, before I make these walls, what is the... No, 1 square equals 5 feet. Yeah, okay. Interesting. These are some big skeletons. I guess it's just a... Alright, let's continue adding walls, shall we? Oh, I don't love that that S is still there. Did I grab the wrong map? They both have the S on there. Interesting, because the one without the numbers still has the S for the trapdoor. I'm just going to keep the numbers because it's going to make my life a little bit easier. what happens if I change this out now? Okay, stays the same. Perfect. I'm loving these beats. All right, this is gonna be like that. Where does that go? Up to where? Oh, cross that bridge when and if we come to it. Oh, come on, Dan, your lines can be better than that. It was. It's just like free music as well. I'm trying to figure out what cool fun playlist I want. And this seems like a bit of a weird mix. How's your Tuesday afternoon? Warm in your boy? I just want a longer version of that last song. That was pretty... This one? Big old double doors here. I'm just gonna play that song again. We'll use terrain rocks for these ones, I think, or terrain walls, so you can kind of get a look at them. Actually, let's wipe out these walls. I'll do actual windows and stuff. So what's this? Invisible walls for these bits. Essentially windows. And we can have sort of light coming in that way. I'm not going to do it super detailed for sort of a tiny effect, but play the intro to Big Time Rush. What is that? Chill, so if you want to. What is Big Time Rush intro? What is this? What is this you've made me listen to? What are these people? Is this some kind of boy band? Because... Alright. Jesus, mate. Oh, and Stephen Kramer Glickman. Created by Scott Fell. Okay, well, this looks like some kind of show that I did not grow up on. Thank you. Thank you for that experience. But there are some shows you grew up with that are just like their theme songs are stuck in your head, right? Like for me, I think it's got to be some of those Spider-Man animated shows. You know, Spider Blood. It was a lot of the early X-Men. American boy band that had a show on Disney. Yeah, wow, I never really grew up with the Disney Channel or the Disney whatever, but it looked very Disney. I saw the haircuts of some of those boys. They were sort of like, some of them looked bad boys, but still very clean. But yeah, I think I know the style. Now let's put a wall, just cutting this off. And we're going to need to add some, that's a little bit here. So was that Warm in Your Boy? Was that your go-to show, was it, growing up? You like those Disney boy bands? No judgment here, mate. I mean, trying to think, what kind of musical stuff did I like growing up? I'm sure there was like, maybe it was like Josie and the Pussycats or something I thought were really cool. Something silly like that. Or didn't like S Club 7 have a TV show back in the day? A bunch of bands or like music things had TV shows. All right, let's place some doors. All right, let's get some global illumination. It's global, and then we'll do the same here. So when we grab our good bird person, wingman PT, I should say. Hold on. Why can he see through there? These are supposed to be walls. Okay. Maybe because it's global illumination. Let us reset fog. Nope, not clear lights. Reset fog of war. Okay, he can't see past there. Alright. Let's add a bit of terrain in. Let's see how we go. Mate, play some Beat Saber first, and then, you know, get all hot and sweaty, have a shower, and then have a nap. And then you'll feel like you've been productive today. And then you can guilt-free nap all. Tuck it out. Get your blanket. Put on an audiobook or some music. Just drift off. Man, I got some Beat Saber songs like on my running playlist. Just like Living Legend and that was $100 bills, I think. Just because it's got that regular beat to kind of run to. You can feel pretty hype. So we're doing these rocks like this because they'll be able to see the rock, but not see what's behind it. Is kind of the plan. So we can, maybe they'll you know, use cover and things like that. Although the players in my game aren't super tactical. they're somewhat tactical. Especially with these ones, I think this particular group is very much go in, go hard. There we go. It's all looking pretty good. Then we need to figure out what is in each of these rooms. So you got down here is the ruined gatehouse. Large towers to either side have been partially collapsed. Several large boulders lie strewn about. With the gardener's shack down the bottom here. Courtyard. Giant skeletons. Cool. North tower. South tower. So in here we got wargs. And some orcs kind of tending them. One's mounted. Well, I mean, in this, they're meant to be goblins, but there's also meant to be a manticore in here, so if they haven't fought one yet, they will now, which is kind of cool. I was just looking at manticores. Four hobgoblins, one minotaur. Alright, so we're going to put some orcs in here and a minotaur, apparently. Let's put this Emberhorn minotaur in there. He seems like a... Oof. He's like a big boy. So Emberhorn Minotaur versus a regular Minotaur. They're both challenge rating 3. Both pretty much the same, right? Except the Ember one can do incredible amounts of damage with a Burning Breath. I think let's just do a normal Minotaur, shall we? Crystallized? Yeah, Crystallized is pretty good, I think. It's hard to remember all the names of those songs now, because I also ended up downloading the mod that lets you kind of put your own songs in, and that, well, people have kind of already done their own songs. I'm not very good, though. The question is, how did this Minotaur get in here? But I hope that's not a question that I need to answer. Oh, he probably came through the hole in the wall. There you go, Dan. Very clever. Already answered it. And there's meant to be a bunch of orcs in here. Let's throw one white tusk orc from Strongholds of Followers. Who's this guy? Battleborn, so he's got Berserker Greaves. What's the difference between the soldiers and the warriors? Multi-type hand axe. One of these guys get great axes. How hard are they to hit? 16, 13. We'll go one soldier, one warrior. And they're just hanging out. All right, that should be fun. And then the war room is here. And that's where they're going to find the map that I'll need to download the map and sort of give it to them. And then Worm Lord Koth. So he's going to be a shaman, but let's see what kind of shaman options we have, because we want to make him like a pretty decent kind of fighter. I mean, this seems kind of cool with the whole CR4 is pretty good. Do we have any other cool touch the white hand? See what kind of shamans we have. Golgari shaman. That's pretty tough. Utgard shaman. I mean, that looks cool. Challenge rating 2. I don't mind throwing a challenge rating 4 at them. Sunder shaman. Alright, we're gonna go orc shaman. We're gonna rename it, right? So this one in particular is going to be Wormlord Koth. Boom. I mean, they have it as a bugbear sorcerer, but whatever. He then seeks out Karkalan and retreats with the Minotaur back to this room. Okay, so who is okay? The subcommander of the group is a Minotaur named Karkalan. The scarred rugged brood has served Wormlord Koth since the if caught unaware here, any hobgoblin who may extend up. Okay. Koth got shield. He uses Raven Femlin. If he can line up at least two, let's do lightning bolt. Once forced into melee, relies on his wand of magic missile in preference to his Morningstar. If reduced to 10 of fear, he drinks a potion of fly and retreats to Skull Gorge Bridge. All right. So let's give him that potion of fly, so I remember. Potion of flying. And he also has shield and mage armor. So that's going to bump him up to armor class 15. We will assume he kind of has that unless they catch him off guard. And then this is a reaction he can use to boost his AC, probably when he goes to leave, right? When he tries to fly out. That's under his actions. He's got one potion of flying. I wonder though, is that updating this? No, it isn't. Okay. So maybe I create a copy of this one. Equipment shop. Interesting. There's some extra features in these modules which I haven't really looked at. Oh, let's check out this Streamraider party first. Okay. Bro Dizzle getting it all in the The last man standing in here doing all the work. All right, back to the creation stuff here. All right, let's duplicate this Orc Shaman, and we'll make it Worm Lord Koth. And we'll give him all these things. That was pretty much it. And then we can link the actor data, so we can actually have him stay the same if we have to use him again somewhere else. All right, this is a bit of fun. So I think we're good for that area. And then we kind of know what's in the other areas and stuff. So Koth intends to assault the Drellins himself. What else have we learnt? What can we put in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 2 more secrets. I think Koth is one of the newer Wormlords, or like one of the newer generals. So I don't know. Maybe someone recognizes the some of the orcs record. The secret would be that Sadare has worked with slavers before. May be recognized. And there are 4 commanders. Leading the armies. Koth, Sarvith, Ulwai Stormcaller, Talon. Oh, wait. Hravek Khan. All led by Obald Many Arrows. Cool. All right. Those are some cool secrets that they may learn. The scouts are led by an orc shaman. They've enlisted the help of dragons. A human ghost haunts the Wrathkeep ruins. A great army is gathering up in the worm smoke somewhere on the far side of Skull Gorge. A green dragon has visited the keep multiple times. The assault on Drellin's Ferry is scheduled to take place soon, 8 or 9 days from now. South of Drellin's Ferry, the Ghost Lord claims that region. Koth intends to assault Drellins himself. Saudade has worked with slavers before, may be recognized here. 4 commanders, or wormlords, leading the armies. Koth, Sarvith, Ulwai Stormcaller, Hravek Khan, and they're all led by Obald Many Arrows. What NPCs might they meet? They might meet Jaw and Worm Lord Koth. Won't worry about that. What magic items might they acquire? So this thing has the recommendation that there's treasure under hidden here. Gauntlets of Ogre Power and a +1 Frost Bastard Sword. Okay, and a deed to the keep as well, we can put in there. What is a Staff of Life? Staff of Healing? It's pretty cool, but they have like a pretty hardcore healer if Alex is playing. So I don't think they really need it. Alright, I think we're relatively well prepared for this tonight's game. I'm going to have to work out who's going to be playing. We're going to be starting at 6:30, which is 2.5 hours from now. So I'm going to take a bit of a break, maybe play something else, and come back at 6:30. And if you're here now, I hope you'll consider joining me and hitting follow and coming back at 6:30 to actually watch the game play out and see if it sticks to our prep at all in the slightest. But we've been going for 2 hours now, which is I think a good spot to take a break and refresh, revitalize, and get ready. So thank you very much for joining me, especially Warmin Your Boy and Valexion, and of course those of you who played a bit of Streamraiders and stuff like that. You're always welcome back. So thank you very much, and have a good afternoon.